All right. So my name's Lauren Lane. I work for Accessible Web. I am a web accessibility specialist, so I help with audits and other using the tools and services that Accessible Web provides. And here we have Heather Berg, who is an Access technology user and does user experience testing for our clients at Accessible Web. So Heather, I just was hoping you could do an introduction of yourself and what kind of Access technology you use, how long you've been using it.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for asking. So over the years, I've used a variety of Access technologies specific to using a computer and accessing the internet. In the early years, I relied on screen magnification along with some color and contrast enhancements. And then several years ago, when my vision deteriorated further, screen magnification wasn't getting the job done for me. And so I made the transition to using a screen reader, which is the technology I use now to do the UX testing for Accessible Web. A screen reader, also commonly known as text-to-speech, is a program or application that runs on your computer or your mobile device, and it provides a spoken representation of whatever is displayed visually on the screen. So that might be text, might be images, might be interactive page elements like links or buttons, headings, etc. And so, you know, that's the primary function of the screen reader, but secondarily, and really no less importantly, it also provides for keyboard navigation and interaction with a website. So if you imagine visiting a website and using that content or accessing it non-visually, chances are you're not using any type of point and click device like a trackpad or a mouse. And so you need to rely on that hardware keyboard or a connected braille display, refreshable braille display, to navigate, control, and interact with that particular website.
And so with the screen reader and other Access technology, you know, you were mentioning how it does text to speech or images to speech, but the websites really need to be, it doesn't just automatically turn this website into a great experience for Access technology users. It has to be, the website needs to be designed and coded in order to do that, correct?
Absolutely. So we have a variety of really quite robust and powerful screen readers available to us now. However, a good screen reader can really never make up for bad web design. So in other words, the end user experience for someone who visits your site using Access technology is always going to be directly correlated with how well your site is built and designed. So in other words, if your site is built and designed with inclusion and access for everybody in mind, then that end user is going to have a really enjoyable and efficient experience on your website. If your website is not built with access and inclusion as a top priority, then that end user experience is going to be, you know, at best unpleasant and challenging, and at worst, perhaps the user might not even be able to complete the task that they set out to do when they visited your site in the first place. So that might be something like not being able to fill out a job application, not being able to complete a school assignment, or make a purchase. And so, you know, ultimately that user is gonna take their business elsewhere where they can get their needs met.
Yep. Yeah, this is really great information. Can you talk a little bit about what you do for user testing, how you do that for us here at Accessible Web?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'll just kind of give you a quick overview of the two screen readers that I use at this point, and the two that I use to do the testing for Accessible Web. So my preferred screen reader is VoiceOver, and VoiceOver is a screen reader that's baked right into every Mac OS and iOS device right out of the box. It's also the screen reader that I personally have the highest degree of proficiency and fluency with. My secondary screen reader is also very widely used. It's called JAWS.
Right.
And that's JAWS, and it stands for Job Access with Speech. JAWS is a third-party application that is developed and maintained by a company called Freedom Scientific. And JAWS runs on devices using Windows-based operating systems.
Okay.
They're both very powerful and robust and very widely used. There are a few others that are also available, other screen readers that are available. I'm just not familiar with them, so I would prefer not to talk about them. But the key point there is that we have consumer choice now as well. As which screen readers are going to meet individual needs the best. And so with that said, what I do is once a project is sent my way, which is essentially a website that's either in the design and development phase or one that Accessible Web has been doing remediation work with, I jump on that website, I familiarize myself with it, try to get a feel for the flow and the layout and the content. And then there are typically a series of prescribed scenarios or tasks that I get through using my screen reader. And so that might be something like, if it's an e-commerce site, I might see if I can search for and locate the particular product or service that I want. Can I find a good description of that? Can I then, choose the color or model or quantity, add it to the shopping cart, and then be able to navigate through the checkout process. If it's an information-based site, the scenarios might be more focused on, can you find different bits of information? Can you fill out the contact form? Can you find the physical address? Those sorts of things. And that all sounds pretty straightforward, but I'll revisit the example I used with the e-commerce site. There are a lot of steps, and it only takes one step to not function properly to really bring the entire process to kind of a screeching halt.
Right.
If I can't enter my credit card information, I can't complete my purchase. And so it's really important that as a tester, I navigate my way through every single one of those steps to make sure that the process works from start to finish.
Yeah, because I think many people who have purchased things online note that there are a lot of steps, and sometimes even for those that don't use assistive technology, if the steps aren't laid out nicely and user friendly, then
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to speak over you. That brings up a really good point, and that is we know that if a website provides an efficient and enjoyable experience for an access technology user, that flows over into providing efficient and enjoyable experience for a non-access technology user or visitor to that site. There's a phrase that I hear a lot in the web accessibility space these days, and I didn't coin it, I'm not responsible for it, but it sums things up really nicely, and it says that accessibility of a given website is essential for some and beneficial for everyone.
Right. Yeah, that's something I've learned in this work as well. That's makes total sense. And if you compare it to environmental or architectural accessibility, the similar example or equivalent example is ramps for folks that use wheelchairs into buildings. Obviously, that's necessary for them to get into those buildings, but then also they benefit, folks with strollers or the postal service workers, UPS workers that have to have, a dolly full of packages. It benefits everybody. And that equates to web accessibility as well. So it's a really great example of, how having good structure on your website isn't just for people who use assistive technology, although it's very necessary, but it's beneficial to everybody, which is
That's right. Essential for some, beneficial for all.
Yeah, that's great. That's a great thing to remember. So now that we've talked about a lot of what you do, we'd love to show what you do, because there's nothing more compelling than actually seeing how someone experiences a website using Access technology. And, you know, it's been enlightening for me, some of the developers I've worked with, some clients, just to understand why we do certain things, remediations, updates, or why we build a website a certain way. So we'd love to just see how you navigate a website. And we've created one to showcase in this video, and I know you have it up on screen, so whenever you're ready, let's see how this website works in your perspective.
Okay, so when I visit a new site that I'm not familiar with, you know, there's a few different approaches that you can take. I tend to be someone who likes to just kind of navigate around and see if I can get a feel for the layout and the content and where I'm going to find the things that I'm looking for. A couple of ways to do that would be to navigate by headings, and or to look for the navigation and then navigate by links to see if you can find out, you know, what the major, like the key linked pages and content is going to look like in a site. So I've got my keyboard in front of me. Remember, that's how I'm interacting with this website. I'm going to just make sure my VoiceOver Focus is on the site.
Zoom us, Finder, Safari.
Okay, so I know I'm in Safari.
Shrewd Farms 1,660 acres of the finest beets in Northeast PA. Web content.
All right, I'm on web content.
In Shrewd Farms 1,660 acres of the finest beets in Northeast PA. Web content banner.
All right, so I'm on a banner. So I'm just going to start navigating kind of what I would expect to be left to right, top to bottom, just to kind of get the lay of the land.
Navigation. You visited link, Bad Shrewd Farms. Mail _ outline. You are current contact us. You are link, beet varieties. You are visited link, what are beets? You are link, beet varieties.
Beet variety.
You are currently on a link. To click this link, press link, beet varieties. Link image. You are currently on a link. To click this link, press search text field, search button. Group. Sign up, clickable. Link, gardening know-how. Link, gardening know-how. Link, gardening know-how. You are link, gardening know-how.
Interesting is that the links
VoiceOver help menu 5 items.
a new website.
Link, gardening know.
Alerted to that, so you're not actually even on.
Oh, okay. Right, because I expected to just be linked to another page on that particular website. So now, because you told me, I know I'm on another website, I don't have to navigate back.
Back, website not secure. You are visited link, what are beets? You are link, directions. You are current link, eat more beets. You beet drop down, button. You are currently on a button. To click this button, press Control, Option, Space, press, beet drop down, button. Beet drop down, group. You are current link, beets. Link, beets. Link, beets. Link, beets. You are link, beets.
That's not.
You are currently on a link.
helpful.
To click this link, press Control, Option, link, beets. Link, beets. You are current link, beets.
Okay.
You are currently link, beets. Beet drop down, group, beet drop down, button, beet drop down, group. Navigation. End of back content. Main image dot p types of beets.
So I was pretty much being held hostage in that beet drop down. I had to really navigate away from that.
And you know, we get kind of
golden,
very repetitive with beets, but
right. I'm guessing that there's more information than what it says than what I'm getting there, but not knowing that.
VoiceOver help menu 5 items.
Let's
try golden, red,
navigating by headings and see what happens.
Quick nav on. Misspelled. Links, form controls. Web spots, form controls. Links.
Normally headings are between links and form controls. There don't seem to be any headings on this page.
Oh, so
form controls.
Okay.
Oh, that's interesting. So let's do quick nav.
Quick nav off. Form controls menu. Beet drop down. Edit text. Blank.
So I have a text field, but I don't know what it is because it just says edit text blank.
Edit text. Blank. Your message. Required. Edit text.
Yes.
Start your Shrewd Farms. Your credit card number. Required. Your email. Edit text. Blank. Links menu. Windows spots. Links menu. Visited. Link. Bad Shrewd Farm. Visited. Link. Beat varieties. Visited. Link. What are beats? Link. Directions. Link. 8 more beats. Link. Beats. Link. Beats. Link. Beats. Link. Beats. Link. Beats.
Okay, then it seems like we're
Link.
stuck again.
Link. Beats. Link. Link. Beats.
Okay, I think you get the idea.
Formanova. Golden. Link. Start your beat journey. You are currently on a link. To click this
Let's see what
link,
this
press
says.
Control. Press link. Start your beat journey. Contact. You are currently on a text element. Please, no emails, phone calls or in-person visits only. Your address, Rural RT6, Honesdale, Pennsylvania. Directions, 156 paces from the light red mailbox. Name. Edit text, blank. To open the autofill menu, press the up or down arrow key.
Let's see if I can enter text.
Heater. Heather. Edit text with autofill menu, blank. To open the autofill menu,
Okay, so
press
that form field doesn't seem to be labeled.
Right. So
message.
they would need
You
to
are currently
be
on
non-visible.
edit text with autofill menu, blank.
Right, it says edit text, but I don't know what I'm supposed to put in there. So the first field you could see was name. That was labeled.
Hmm.
Now there's an unlabeled field.
Mhm.
Message. Your message required. Edit text.
All right, so I'm trying to enter text
Mhm.
in your message. Let's see if I,
In edit text. Bad Shrewd Farms.
and I'm not getting any feedback, so I don't know.
Link. Bad. You are currently on a text element.
Okay, I have no idea what
Bad
that
Shrewd
is.
Farms.
Yeah.
Clickable. Links menu.
You're back up at the heading.
So I'm back up at the top.
Bad Shrewd Farms.
Okay. Let's see if I can go back, revisit the form field.
Links menu. Form controls menu. Beat dropdown. Heather. In edit text. Blank.
Oh, there's that unlabeled
Heather. Insert Heather.
Okay.
You are email. You are edit text with autofill menu.
There's the email.
To open the
Okay.
autofill menu, HLBERG. Hilberg.
I'm not going to fit that.
Hilberg.
I want
Insertion
to
end of
advertise
text.
my email address.
Start your Shrewd Farms journey. Your message required. Edit text. Your message. You are currently on a text area.
All right.
In edit text. Bad Shrewd Farms.
Okay, yeah, so clearly this text field, I don't know what's going on.
Right. Yeah.
Link. Bad.
Link bad,
You are
yes, I would agree.
Currently on a text element.
Going up to the top navigation.
Okay, so the voiceover focus is really jumping around.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Okay. What else would you like me to demonstrate?
Yeah. So I mean, there is
Clearly, I'm not buying beats from this
no.
crazy beat farm.
Yeah. So I mean, do you feel like this is typical, or did we make this website a little too inaccessible? Is this something that you've experienced before?
I most certainly experience many of these barriers that we've seen here. So unlabeled form fields, for example. I know I need to enter information, but I don't know what that information is.
Right.
Inconsistent voiceover focus, where my screen reader focus either doesn't stay where you put it, or I use a navigation that I would expect it would move like one element to the left or right or up or down, and then it lands somewhere completely different on the page. Makes it very difficult to stay oriented.
Yes.
The drop down menu that we saw with beats.
Yeah.
It is common to get into something like that and then have a hard time navigating away from it or getting out of it. It can kind of hold you hostage.
Right.
That's pretty common. So yeah, you did a real good job making it hard to access.
Yeah. So they're also,
But it's not, I think to your point, it's not over the top. These are not uncommon
Wow.
occurrences.
wow. I know might be difficult seeing that we didn't get very far, but there is a newsletter sign up towards the bottom of this page.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be interested to see if you would be able to do that.
Okay. So let's see.
Form controls menu. Beat drop that Heather. Hilberg, your message. Start your Shrewd Farms journey. Button. Your credit card number. Your email. Edit. What kind of beats do you want? Required. Buy beats. Buy beats. Buy beats. What kind of your email? Your credit card number. Start your Shrewd Farms journey. Button.
That might be it.
Button. Start your Shrewd Farms journey. Button.
You think it
Buy
could
beats.
start
Button.
your
Start your Shrewd
journey?
Farms journey. Start your Shrewd Farms journey.
Your internet connection is
You are currently on
unstable.
And then I wonder,
Buy our beats. Start your Shrewd Farms journey. Button.
well, yeah,
Enter an email address.
for the,
You are currently on a
enter
text
an
element.
email address.
yeah, that's to send a message.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and if you
Because a newsletter sign up could start the same way, but there's
Absolutely.
no information telling me that.
yeah, it's not enter your email address to contact, or enter your sign up for our newsletter by entering your email.
Right.
So, and further down on the page, there's also a drag and drop, because there's a coupon which
Enter an
also
email address.
using this.
Press escape key to exit out of the popover. Hilberg. Insert. Message. Your message. You are current. Start your Shrewd Farms buy our beats. Enter your credit card information. Website not secure. Drag and drop your coupon here to receive a discount on your order.
There's the drag and drop.
You are currently on a text element.
So drag and drop is one of those things for screen reader users
Mhm.
where ostensibly it's something that you can do with, in particular, VoiceOver and JAWS.
Mhm.
However, it doesn't work very reliably. And there, again, are a lot of pieces that need to fall into place to make it work. So that's the kind of thing that, honestly, I would probably just say, well, I
Yep.
can't use that coupon. I'm not going to do it.
Mhm.
I see this also very commonly on employment websites
Oh, wow.
where, for example, they want you to, provide a resume and a cover letter. And instead of an upload files option,
Mhm.
the option is to drag, it'll say drag and drop your resume or your cover letter here. And that's something that, like I said, just doesn't work reliably.
Yeah, especially with a keyboard only user.
Yeah.
I can't
Yeah.
imagine.
It's not, it's, even if it did work, it's a highly inefficient
Right.
process.
Right.
Whereas a browse files and choose the ones that you want to upload option is quite efficient.
Right. Yeah, so I think at this point, maybe I'll take over screen sharing and just kind of show, what someone that doesn't use assistive technology, access technology, what their experience would be as a comparison.
Sure.
So I'm going to share my screen.
Zoom mask. System dialog. Talking. Space with Zoom mask containing window Zoom meeting. Full screen space. Zoom mask has a new window. You are currently on a button. To click this button.
So I am now sharing my screen, and I have Bad Fruit Farms open as well. And I'm starting to scroll down. I'm hovering over the links at the top of the page. I see there's a Google Maps link. Again, I get a little frustrated when links don't open in new tabs. That's
You
one
have
of
beats
my,
on the brain.
I do. It's all over this site. And I can click the drop down menu and then be like, meh, okay, I don't need to look at that, and just click off. And the menu stays open, but I can just scroll down without using my keyboard. So I'm able to just ignore that annoying drop down list. And then I'm also seeing that there are lots of images that have text, and the text is really important. It's not just something decorative. So I'm seeing that there's a coupon for 20% off all Chioga beats. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that beat strain correctly, but and it says print this coupon, present at time of purchase. So without having any context on this image, which would be having proper alt text to explain what this is, or having that information that is on the image, having that available in text somewhere else on the site would make it accessible, and you would have been able to pick this up. But text on an image is really problematic because that text isn't coded in a way that's able to be picked up by assistive technology.
And even though I didn't get very far, Lauren, navigating around, not once, I didn't even hear an image.
Right. Yeah.
I didn't, I wasn't even alerted, labeled or otherwise, that there were images on the site.
Right. And when you did continue to tab through the site, it also skipped over the newsletter part. It really brought you down right to the contact form. So there's a newsletter part. There's also a recipe of the month that you can click and open up. It's actually a PDF. What's your experience with PDFs?
Varied. It depends on the file. So there are some PDFs that a screen reader is able to read. If it is a scanned image PDF, that tends to create problems. We have additional technology now built into screen reader applications or in standalone applications to OCR to perform optical character recognition on scanned images. That can be helpful in extracting text, useful text from a scanned image.
Okay.
But I think the key thing to note there is that now, as a screen reader user, I've had to take several additional steps to access that same document or file that someone accessing it visually would not have had to go through. There's no parity in the experience between the two.
You know, I open it up and I see that it's a shopping list for beet recipes. I can scroll and be like, meh, I don't want to make beet juice or beet salad. I'll go back to the site and then I'm done.
I had no idea that it was even there. As you could see, I was thinking like, this is kind of boring. It just goes from like the navigation straight to the footer or enter your credit card information.
Right.
It was very sort of disorienting and limited.
And then we also have the join our newsletter, which brings up a pop-up modal. And there is not a closeout button. And I believe this is often called a either a keyboard trap or what's the other success criteria? I'm talking about web content accessibility guidelines, but something very frustrating. And because I can read the text quite easily, it says, you need to refresh this page if you want this modal gone. And I know you've talked about before how pop-ups often are difficult to navigate using Access technology.
They can be, for sure, because like you said, you can get either one of two things. You can either, it automatically interacts and you get stuck in it and you can't navigate away from it.
Right.
Or the screen reader doesn't seem to recognize that it's even there and you know, you're looking for it and then you can't find it. Just a quick example, a telehealth site that I used recently had a pop-up to log in to the waiting room so that your provider would know that you were there. And it just, VoiceOver just completely did not even recognize it.
Wow.
So that left me in a situation where I had to get sighted assistance with something that was personal and private information.
Right, right. Yeah, for something, you know, like your health.
Right.
That's really important. It's more important than buying beets, I would assume, but
not necessarily something that you want to share with, you know, a random stranger on a video chat who it's lovely that they're there to help, but
yeah. So other things I'm seeing on this site too that we wanted to point out is even with some of the text that is properly coded as text into the website, it's yellow text against a gray background, and you know, my vision is pretty good, and I am even having trouble reading some of it. So color contrast is something that, you know, it might look good or it might go with your brand colors, but that doesn't mean it's accessible to everyone. You know, we also have a picture with text that says, ask about our weekly specials, and the picture, it's up in the sky, part of the picture, and it has white text. So again, that's important information that's not accessible, either with assistive technology or someone that isn't able to see well with, you know, low contrast of text to the background. So
That brings up a good point, Lauren, when you talk about the lack of contrast. Is yes, it's a access issue,
Mhm.
but also like if you're on your phone and you're out in the bright sunlight
Right,
and you're
right.
reading through this website,
Mhm.
and your eyeballs are just fine,
Yeah,
you may
exactly.
still not see that, or you may have trouble seeing
Mhm.
it, or you might scroll right past it and not even notice it.
Right. And yeah, so I'm easily able to see and access the contact, so I can put my name and email in, my message. I can see that I need to push this button to send it. Then I can easily see how I need to enter my credit card number, because there is visual text on the screen that prompts me to do that. But as you pointed out when you were navigating, just because it's on the screen doesn't mean there's an actual label coded into this text field, into this text input element of the site. So it's great that I can, it's right there, I know what to do, but it's not coded so that a screen reader could actually pick that up and let you know that that's where you need to put your credit card.
And
And,
if you notice, when I was navigating around, it didn't, the way the screen reader presented it, I mean, it said enter your credit card information, but it wasn't related to anything. I was like, what am I entering my credit card information? Did I buy Beats? Am I subscribing to something?
right, and that's, I think, where a header might have been helpful. Correct me if I'm wrong, but there is what looks like a header visually that says buy our e-beats.
Ah, sure. So a heading,
Mhm.
it says shop now, or, purchase here, or whatever, or buy our e-beats,
Mhm.
that would let me know, give me some context.
Mhm. Right. Yeah, so, for me, I had so much more access to information. I could download this coupon onto my desktop, and then I could drag it into the drag and drop area here. So, I mean, even if you just think financially, I am at an advantage. I can also ask about weekly specials for the bed and breakfast that they offer. I can also ask about corporate team building um, opportunities that is at the bed and breakfast. And I mean, when you were going through, it wasn't even obvious to you that there is a bed and breakfast in addition to the beet farm. So I think this just really shows how different an experience can be, and how much more information I'm able to access,
Sure.
and how problematic that is,
And
both
we
for the
can,
business and for, the user.
sure, we can circle this right back to, our early conversation of a good screen reader can't make up for bad web design.
Right, right. Mhm. And I also love the analogy you've told me before, that you often feel like navigating the web for you is being a detective.
It
Trying to
is like being a detective, because a lot of times you're trying to put the pieces of the puzzle together. There's a label here, there's no label there. This makes sense, that doesn't make sense. And so you spend a lot of time trying to establish some context and, get or stay oriented. And so things like, on a site where when you do visit links within the site, when the pages are laid out the same
Mhm.
from, there might be different information, different content, that's fine, that's expected, but they navigate in a similar way,
Mhm.
and the flow makes sense. It just, I know that I've said the word efficiency
Mhm.
a
Right,
lot,
right.
and I just can't express how important efficiency is when it comes to being a screen reader user.
Right.
Um, because, even the most skilled screen reader user is still probably taking them at least slightly longer to navigate under perfect conditions.
Mhm.
And when things aren't as easygoing, then, it is, you are kind of playing detective. You're trying to put the pieces of the puzzle together.
Right. Right. Well, thank you so much. This has been, I think, really enlightening, and hopefully will help folks that watch it understand a little bit more about what access technology is, what it's like to use a screen reader, and why it's important that the sites are coded for accessibility. So yeah, I really appreciate you bringing us through.
Thank you for asking.
Yeah, of course. All right.